this video, we're going to be talking about bipolar disorder. It is our mental health sort of highlight for the month. So I've got Beyond Blue open at the moment to sort of tell us what it is and how to recognize it and some management solutions. And then I've got the minddiagnostics.org test as well that I'm going to take. I haven't taken it yet, so yeah, I don't know what it's going to be about, but let's get into this. So, Beyond Blue defines it as a serious mental health condition that affects around 2% of the population, only 2%. So out of the, what would that be? Out of the 7 billion people in the world, that's 35,000 people, if my maths is correct. Pretty sure my maths is correct there. 35,000 people out of the 7 billion on the planet. Actually, that's billion, isn't it? No. 35 million. I don't know. It'll be a 35 something because it'd be half 70, 3.5. Anyway, it used to be known as manic depression because people tend to express extreme moods. The lows would be the depression part, and the highs being the manic part. So manic depression be basic translating to high-low. If you notice these symptoms in someone close to you or even in yourself, it's important to seek professional support and treatment. So what causes it? The causes are not fully known. However, a combination of genetic and other factors are usually associated with its development. As with other mental health conditions, a family history of it can increase its likelihood. So, the long story short there being, we don't know. It seems to just be caused the same way any other mental health thing is caused. Environmental factors, genetic factors, socioeconomic factors, the whole gamut. People with bipolar disorder experience extreme highs and lows. In a manic state, they may behave in an overexcited or reckless way. Everything speeds up. Their thoughts, speech, and movements. They may have difficulty focusing on tasks or feel frustrated and irritable. The symptoms of a low or depressed state are the same as those for people experiencing depression. These include feeling low or sad, withdrawing from friends and family, and losing interest in previously enjoyable activities. In a manic state, so this is how you recognize it, they will have increased energy, they'll be irritable, prone to overactivity, increased spending and sex drive, their thoughts will race, they'll have rapid speech, decreased amount of sleep can be one of them, they'll suffer from grandiose ideas and potentially even hallucinations and or delusions. Recognizing a depressed state, they will have a low mood, still be irritable, so irritability is on both sides. Loss or change of appetite, lack of motivation, low self-esteem, sleep disturbance. This one had, decreased sleep, sleep disturbance, so both of them have a thing to do with sleep. Now if you have a low amount of sleep or your sleep is constantly disturbed, because you can basically translate that to what I like to call type 1 or type 2 insomnia. Of course you're going to be irritable. You haven't gotten enough sleep. The other things, cool, yeah. Switching from high mood, high, increased energy, increased spending, increased sex drive, rapid speech, to not talking pretty much at all because of a lack of motivation and self-esteem, not eating, and just generally withdrawing from the world, yeah, I'm not going to say that this isn't a thing. It's a thing, but I don't think that sleep disturbance or decreased sleep and irritability are uniquely a bipolar thing. The way it seems to me is it's just, if you have this, you tend to be just generally irritable. Irritable is like the default setting if you have bipolar, and that's caused by, I would imagine, the mental stress that it puts on you trying to just function in society, and that therefore keeps you up at night or disturbs your sleep pattern, which brings you right back to square one of being irritable. So it would be associated, but I would not say it would be caused. The last bit that this page for Beyond Blue has is treatment and support. There is another little bit that says need immediate support, and it's got some hotlines there. In Australia, it says if you're in an emergency or an immediate risk to yourself or others, contact emergency services on 000. I think the UK's is 999, America's 911. You know your emergency number. I'm not gonna tell you your emergency number, but those are the ones I know. But treatment and support. A combination of medical and psychological treatments is used to treat bipolar disorder. While everyone's different, the evidence shows that medication plays an important role in treatment in most cases. Remembering that we're now dealing with the 2% as the whole 100% here. So some cases is only some cases in that 2%, which, unless in most cases, where did I get some cases from? Right, so most cases probably means over 1% sort of thing out of that 2%. About 50% sort of success rate or more. Which means that there are still less than 1% of people in the world who have bipolar, and medication does not play an important role in their treatment. Which is interesting. The most important thing is to receive treatment that works for you, and your doctor can help with this. You can also visit the Black Dog Institute and Sane Australia. Obviously this one being the Australian Beyond Blue page that I'm on. So Black Dog Institute and Sane Australia for further information, and you can read more about bipolar disorder in New and Exciting Mothers. There's a link there for that as well. Alright, now that we know what it is and what it looks like, let's get into the test. Let's be honest, that's why we're all here. We're all here to see how crazy I am, myself included. Again, alright, there's only 15 questions to this one, so it's not as long as the stress one. It's actually a third of the length of the stress one. Now I've never done this quiz before, so I don't know if there's anything triggering in this. This isn't like I've done it 12 times and have written a script out, so I can, preempt things by going, well, there's going to be some questions about this thing that could be triggering. I don't know if there's any triggers in these next 15 questions, so this is your trigger warning. If something does trigger you, I do apologise. I will try to read the question to myself first beforehand, but this is just sort of a general over the course of things in case there is anything triggering that I don't initially pick up. Alright, so just question 1. You felt so good or hyper that other people thought you were not your normal self, or you were so hyper that you got into trouble. Hold on, did I skip the T and C where it told me what my parameters were here? Whether or not there have been periods. Whether or not there have been... Yes. I was quite the hyper little kid. You were so irritable that you shouted at people or started fights or arguments. Yeah, I was. Yeah, you felt much more self-confident than usual. Much more self-confident than usual. What does self-confidence feel like? I mean, there have been, I wouldn't say self-confident, there have been times where I've been proud of, accomplishments that I've done. I don't know if that translates to self-confident. I love how none of these questions have any context. I'm gonna go with no then, it's my first no of the quiz. You got much... the sleep question. You got much less sleep than usual and found you didn't really miss it. Okay, there have been times where I've been able to survive on like 5 hours of sleep. 4 is like not enough. And there have been times where I've slept for like 10 hours. But there have been times where, I'll sleep for 5 hours, wake up, feel kind of groggy and out of it for a bit, and then after that I'm fine, I'm all good. So I'm gonna go with yes. You were much more talkative or spoke much faster than usual. Is that like than usual for myself? Because I actually slow my speech down to be understood in these videos. So I'm gonna go with yeah. I just generally speak faster than most people. I have to try and remember to slow my speech down. Thoughts raced through your head and you couldn't slow your mind. I know it said there have been periods of, but can that period just be my entire life? Because yes. You were so easily distracted by things that you had trouble concentrating or staying on track. I am fiddling at the moment to keep myself on track so I don't get distracted. So yeah, that's a, but I don't think that that's a uniquely bipolar thing. I mean, it could also be a social anxiety thing. It could be I have to look more into this stuff. Don't quote me on this. I'm probably gonna get some hate comments, but it could be an Asperger's or autism thing. It could be any number of things. The fidgeting. You had much more energy than usual. I mean, I think my energy levels are probably the most bipolar thing about me. I'm about to find out if I have this or not, so I'm answering yes to a lot of questions, so I'm starting to think, oh, okay, these are the sorts of things that I need to be self-reflective on when I'm looking at am I bipolar? They could possibly be. You were much more active or did many more things than usual. Yeah. You were much more social or outgoing than usual. For example, you telephoned friends in the middle of the night. I mean, yeah. Middle of the night, yeah. I've had 10 a.m/3 a.m. phone calls. 10 p.m. Where is my head? Alright, question 11. Yep. Would probably rather keep this question to myself, but question 11, if you guys click on the link, you're gonna find it out anyway, so I might as well just read it to you. You were much more interested in sex than usual. Yeah. It's fun. Good times. When consent is given, by the way. You did things that were unusual for you or that people might have thought were excessive, foolish, or risky. Yeah. It's called free climbing the cliffs near the beach, where like directly below me is just water and rock. And like not calm water either, obviously, because it's the beach. It's like tidal surge beneath me. Yeah. I've done some risky things. Spending money that got you or your family into trouble. Got me or my family into trouble. I don't think I've spent anything that's gotten me into trouble. I don't think I've ever bought anything that's gotten me into trouble. I'm gonna no on this. If it was like foolishly spending money or excessively spending money was the question, sure. It's called having an addiction to all forms of entertainment. So like my books, my movies, my video games, my board games. Sure, I've foolishly spent money that's probably not necessary, but I've not bought anything that got me into trouble. That's a no. If you checked yes to more than one of the previous descriptions, have several of these ever happened during the same period? You'll expect me to remember the last 13 questions. Yes. More than one, so I've just got to remember 2 of them. Lack of sleep and having a depressive moment. Yeah. Depression and insomnia are a recurring cycle, which if we refer to insomnia as decreased sleep or disturbed sleep, and depression just as a general thing, irritability. I know that's not what it is, but if we refer to it like that, then sure. Plus it then comes under our symptoms. So, how much of a problem did any of these cause you, like being unable to work, having family money or legal troubles, getting into arguments or fights? If this tells me I'm bipolar, it's only like a minor thing. If this tells me I have bipolar, then I've probably had it since like being a kid, and so therefore grown up learning to deal with it, just thinking that it was personality quirks. So I'm gonna go a minor problem. Skip. Okay. Loading results. And yep. 11 out of 13, guys. 11 out of 13. Indicative of bipolar disorder. These results do not mean that you have bipolar disorder, but it may be time to start a conversation with a mental health professional or someone who's supporting you. It's funny too, because as it was like, have you had depressive moments? Have you had more energy than usual? That's how my... If we say that, even though it says indicative of, if we say that I don't have it, if I'm part of that 98%, then my depression works in a bipolar fashion, wherein there'll be some days where it'll be like, wake up, don't even bother putting this on, instead I just turn on Netflix, and that's where I am for the day, unless I have to, unless I'm suddenly like, no, I have to eat, or I'm like, I should probably go, to like the bathroom or something, like necessities. Otherwise it's just like, yep, this is where I am for the day. And then there are other days where it's like, right, we've woken up, it's 6:30 a.m. let's go down to the beach, take some photos, come back, cook breakfast, have a shower, get dressed, go and do all of these things that we've got to, that we've been putting off. Clean my room, like it just, if I don't have it, my depression works in a bipolar fashion. Where it was like delusions and what were the other guys said, what was it before that? Grandiose ideas. Could that not just be my active imagination, because I'm a novelist and screenwriter? I don't know. I have a pretty active, pretty healthy imagination when it comes to stories and stuff. So could they just be my grandiose? Like, I don't know. But reading those symptoms on Beyond Blue, the depressed state is depression. That's what that is. But at the same time, the manic state also just seems to be me, 80% of the time as well. So, even though it doesn't mean that I have it, do I? I've got something to reflect on now. Okay. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, or don't, I don't care. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more videos from me and be notified when I upload new ones. And yeah, again, the Beyond Blue Bipolar disorder page and the link to doing the quiz will be linked in the description down below. I'd love to hear your comment. If you do the quiz, let me know what your results were. 0 to 6 is non-indicative of bipolar disorder. So, it's sort of like up to 50%, which is how it kind of should be. The low range should be like the first third, or not indicative, should be the first half, not the first 20% stress. God, under that quiz, everybody's stressed. I don't know anyone that got under 150 for that. But yeah, if you do the quiz, let me know your results down below and how you kind of, if you reflect on it a little bit, how you kind of recognize it now in your life, whether you have it or not. And if you already know that you have it and have been dealing with it through medication or not, let me know what your methods are. Like I said, I'm going to go and reflect on this now, figure out what my methods are of dealing with it and how I know if I'm in a good mood or a bad mood. Yeah, let's have a bit of a conversation in the comment section. That'd be great. And until next time, guys, keep your head screwed on.